All right. Welcome to the next episode of Herbie Sports Talk. Thank you guys for joining in. Over here, my name is Tyler, and to the other side of the table is little Herbie Travis.
Where's the big Herbie Herbach at?
Big Herbie Herbach over here with Tyler. Little Herbie Herbach Travis over there. My bad.
Anyways, welcome back to another episode here.
Yeah, absolutely. As always, please hit us up on all of our social media feeds. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and obviously we're on YouTube, so we'd like to hear your comments on that too. So let's jump into this episode. This episode is all about the All-Star Weekend Festivities. Yeah. It's going to be kind of a short weekend because they're doing it all on Sunday. Normally it's like a 4-day thing, and this year's not. They did a couple little different things, I guess, this year with instead of the celebrity All-Star game like they've been doing, they had this 2-on-2 thing between like Quavo and Jack Harlow on one team, and Lil Baby and 2 Chainz were on another.
Oh God!
That was done yesterday. I actually don't know who won. I just didn't care. In all honesty, I think none of them are all that good at basketball.
No,
I know
Quavo has been in the celebrity game a couple times.
Yeah, but
even the guys in the celebrity game, like the only one that is in the celebrity game that was actually like good was J. Cole, and he's a legitimate baller.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean Quavo, like he clearly gets some buckets, but like. Have you seen his shooting form?
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It looks atrocious. It looks atrocious.
Like I know 2 Chainz used to ball. Like you know, like I know like he actually played college basketball. I think it was like a JUCO, but so I don't know how that went. But little twist. Definitely prefer the All-Star games where it was a mixture of stars and like retired.
The retired Hall of Famers.
Players,
that was always cool.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll get that back next year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm curious though, because they are jam-packing all into Sunday. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, how big is the delay going to be in the halftime, where they're putting all these other competitions into it?
It's going to be big. It's going to be really big.
You're talking these players, all the All-Star players, are going to be playing a half a game, waiting 2 hours and playing another half a game. That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, at halftime of the game, they're putting in the 3-point contest, the dunk contest, and the skills competition.
Yeah.
All in one. And I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the exact rules set on these. I'm sure they're like truncating it a little bit in terms of like they're not going to be like all the rounds. They're going to like make it a little smaller some way or another. But yeah, I mean you're 100% right. I mean they talk about like a long halftime show like the Super Bowl because of the performance. Like this is going to take an hour.
At least an hour.
Yeah.
I mean you're talking they might shorten the event itself, but the promotional like commercials and stuff like that, the ad campaigns, like that's not going to change. That's what they make it makes money from. All that's going to remain the same time period. They ain't cutting that out.
Yeah.
They might take a round off or just be like, okay, faster judging, no interviews, on to the next. Here you go.
Maybe it'll be very interesting to see the game. Actually, we're filming this the morning of the game.
Yeah.
It starts here in just a few hours, so it'll be pretty cool to kind of see how that goes. It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a little weird. But anyways, let's jump into the All-Star game here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got the picks done. I gotta say, first and foremost, last week on our episode, I said LeBron would pick Giannis first, and I said Durant would take Kyrie Irving with his first pick. I was right on both occasions. So pat myself on the back on that one. And I mean, Kyrie was they were both easy because like Giannis is Giannis, and LeBron's had to play against him for 2 years. Because they were captains the last 2 seasons, So, and then Kevin Durant had to pick Kyrie to keep Kyrie happy. Because if you don't keep Kyrie happy, you're never winning a championship. He will drown that team if you don't keep Kyrie happy.
He'll drown the team when he snaps his knee in half the first playoff series. It doesn't really matter.
Well, actually...
Either way, KD will carry them to the finals because Kyrie won't be around. He'll be injured.
Yeah, and that's fine. But the thing is, angry Kyrie will bring the team down. Injured Kyrie doesn't hurt them that much because they're that good. I mean, Kyrie and Harden have been out there destroying teams without Kevin Durant for the last 3 weeks. So,
I mean, true. Yeah, just sick of NBA players who are supposed to be like a perennial all-star, the face of the league, that are just the biggest babies in the world. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's getting old. It's a play like. There are some aspects of like Kyrie does actually have some mental health problems. Like he's been open about it. That's one thing of it, but it's like the way all the drama we've seen on all the teams he's been on has just been his fucking drama. Yeah. It hasn't been his issue, his full-on personal issues coming out. It's, I don't like this coach. I don't like that player. Oh, they should have played me.
Yeah.
2 extra minutes. Like, dude, you're getting paid millions of dollars to play a game of basketball you've been playing your whole life. You're out there to have fun. At the end of the day, you're just like, that little baby crap, like, knock it off.
Yeah.
Just knock it off.
Yeah, I get that. That's why, so many people were so skeptical whether or not this would work between
all of them.
Kyrie. And Durant's the same way. Durant can be very prickly and like standoffish. So, it's good that's working so far. We'll see it, hopefully continue to work throughout the rest of the season because it would be great to be able to see them go through the playoffs.
If they can go through the playoffs healthy altogether, yeah. Absolutely. That's a monstrous team. So,
but that is a topic for another time. Let's get back to the All-Star game.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so these are your picks. Let me go through Team LeBron first. His starters are obviously LeBron, Giannis, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, and Nikola Jokic. His reserves are Jaylen Brown, Paul George, Rudy Gobert, Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, Domantas Sabonis, and what was supposed to be Ben Simmons, but he just got ruled out this morning for contact tracing with COVID. Him and his teammate Joel Embiid, who's on Kevin Durant's team, who was a starter on his team, so we'll see how that plays out. Yeah. It's going to be rough. But Kevin Durant's team, his starters, with Durant being out, are Bradley Beal, was supposed to be Joel Embiid, who I don't know who's going to start in his place at the moment, hasn't been announced. Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, and Jason Tatum. His reserves are Mike Conley, who's replacing Devin Booker. Also, Mike Conley's replacing Devin Booker in the three-point contest. Devin Booker he's resting. He has a knee thing, and he's resting it. So Mike Conley gets his first official All-Star nod in his career.
He's actually
14 seasons deep. Finally gets one.
Yeah, that's actually a record too for the longest NBA seasons without an All-Star appearance.
And then finally getting one. That's pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty cool. And he played so much of his best years in Memphis when Memphis was garbage for most of it. Yeah. So, and he was snubbed a lot of times. I'm glad to see Mike Conley get one.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I think it was deserved.
The rest of the reserves are Zion Williamson, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle, and Nikola Vucevic.
Okay, before we jump into this, when you just listen to these teams off between LeBron and Team KD, LeBron team's stacked and KD's team is not.
Yes, I would get into that.
I was like LeBron is it should blow this team out.
Yeah, I think I completely agree. LeBron's team is so good. So when they were drafting, you can see the style differences. Even Durant said when he's drafting, he's like, I want guys that get buckets. And that was his focus. Guys that get buckets. LeBron put together an absolute
starting five
death squad.
Yeah, his starting five is disgusting.
I mean, he has... Okay, so you have LeBron, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, and Nikola Jokic on the starters. They're four the best passers in the NBA. Yeah. If not the top four.
You're talking, you have the Joker, the best passing big man
probably of all time.
By the end of his career, maybe, yeah.
I think you could throw him in there now, honestly. Yeah. He's that good of a passer.
And then you have Giannis and LeBron who can go anywhere on the court, except for Giannis' shooting capability.
Right, but Giannis isn't a great passer, but LeBron's a freaking point guard himself.
Yeah, and then you have Steph Curry and Luka who can do whatever they want, whenever they want.
Yeah, and the other thing that Team LeBron has too, other than a killer passers, who, by the way, if you go into the reserves, Chris Paul is there, a brilliant passer. Yeah. Domantas Sabonis, a very good big man passer. Yeah. And he would have had Ben Simmons, who's a great passer, but obviously he's out now. And then, but also in the reserves, this team's got defenders. Holy crap! This could be an all NBA defensive team. Like LeBron and Giannis could shut down anybody whenever they want. And then in the reserves, you have Jaylen Brown, Paul George, Rudy Gobert, and Chris Paul. Oh, and Ben Simmons if he was playing. Yeah. Those are all guys that you see on the all NBA defensive teams year in, year out. They're always there.
Yeah, that's disgusting. You were listening to them all, like, holy crap, LeBron's stacked. There's not the level of talent, even though they're all stars, is not the same between the two teams.
No, yeah, I mean, Durant came out and said he wants guys that get buckets, and he got guys that get buckets, but can you get a bucket against those kind of defenders on you?
So what are we gonna see? Sorry to cut you off, but we're going to see KD's team be 11 guys running a Carmelo Anthony offense. Yep. Let me just post up, I'll pass, post up and a pass.
Yeah, probably. I feel like you're going to see a lot of ISO out of Team Durant, and you'll see a lot. It's also you're seeing ISO almost exclusively, but I think the where this comes down to the difference is this somewhat Elam ending in the fourth quarter, right? Right. when the first team goes to 24. When they got to play starts to play, they really want to actually play. They'll get a little grittier on defense. They'll look for more of an open shot, not just going 1-on-1. When that happens, Team LeBron is like
they're gonna shut down. They're gonna shut them down.
They're gonna shut everything down. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I just can't believe that like LeBron doesn't destroy it. If they were doing like a traditional All-Star game where they kept points throughout the whole thing and not just like these win the first quarter, win the second, win the third, and the Elam ending in the fourth. If they were doing that, I swear I kind of feel like LeBron's team would win by like 50.
It potentially could.
Like 180 to 130.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of 170 games. It might be like a 200 game first ever if it was like a full regulation time game.
It's crazy to me.
So, MVP wise, we're obviously going to lean towards Team LeBron.
Right.
I don't know how somebody from KD's team wins it without winning the game itself.
Yeah, for sure. Before we get to the game, I want to bring up one point in the drafting.
Let's do it.
Of these teams. So it happened to be that Gobert and Donovan Mitchell were the last two picks.
Oh, that's right.
Like the last two picks, and this is right after there was a big controversy with Utah at the end of the Sixers game, and they both came out and just try to destroy the refs, saying how bad they were, blah blah blah, and they got fined for it. And they said it wasn't about that at all; it just happened to be that way. But it kind of seems like this was, LeBron and Durant coming back at him, being like, "Hey,
sit down.
Sit down. You're still the little brother out here, okay? It's like sit down."
You're still trying.
But
okay.
The funniest thing about this is that they asked LeBron about it after the fact, and he goes, "There's no slander to Utah, but even when we were kids playing video games, we never played with Utah." As good as Kevin as Malone and Stockton were, we never played with Utah.
Exactly. You never went in the NBA 2K 2000 I'm playing with Utah Jazz.
Yeah, no, you didn't do that.
You never did it.
And the funny thing, he said that, and I thought about it. I was like, damn, he's right.
Yeah, I never played with him.
No, I mean, we're from the Northwest, so Utah's one of the closest NBA teams to us.
Well, and John Stockton played.
And John Stockton,
played for Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I mean, these times wearing a Gonzaga t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not unknown to what John Stockton is.
Yeah, John Stockton. Also, I think sidebar here. I think John Stockton's the most underrated player in NBA history. His records of assists and steals, I don't think will ever be broken. The closest guy to him for both of them are Chris Paul, and he's thousands.
Yeah, and Chris Paul's way too far in his career.
I think Chris Paul's something like 4,000 or 3,000 assists behind John Stockton. It's insane. He'll never. I don't think he'll ever be broken. It's crazy. But going back, LeBron's absolutely right about they'll play with Utah.
Yeah.
The one time I did is because in my 2K player I got drafted to Utah.
So did I one time.
Yeah. Funny thing is too, we went 1-11. I demanded a trade as a rookie, and I got out. So that's how much we love Utah. Anyone loves Utah outside of Utah himself.
Outside of Utah.
So and the other funny part about this too, at one point towards the end of the draft, LeBron's like, "All right, I need some size," and drafts Domantas Sabonis instead of Rudy Gobert.
Probably because he knows, Rudy Gobert is obviously a ginormous person, but he's like, when he thinks of size, he's like, I want physicality too. Rudy Gobert is not physical. He's tall, and his arm stretches to 10 feet tall, so he gets...
he blocks everything.
He can block everything, but Domantas Sabonis will get down and dirty with you underneath the hoop. I think that's what he's looking at. He's like, I want some size, some dirty, some grit.
Some grit, yeah, that could be. But it was just funny when you have Gobert there, who's 3 inches taller than Domantas Sabonis is. And they passed on it. So, it was pretty funny. Probably the best moment of the draft, honestly. It was great. So, all right, let's move on to the MVP. If the West wins, or Team LeBron, I should say the West.
Yeah.
If Team LeBron wins, obviously that's where the MVP is coming from, and I expect Team LeBron to win. My MVP pick is going to be Steph.
Okay.
I think maybe Steph feels a little underappreciated the last couple of years. Wants to come out and be like, hey, I'm still Steph Curry. Watch me drop one from 45 because I want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he can do that literally whenever he wants, especially when no one's going to be guarding him by half court. He can toss up everything from half court all game long. Yeah, so like I'm not gonna pick LeBron because it could very well be LeBron. But like I don't want to just like it's LeBron again. I want to give somebody else a real shot. I'm going with Luka actually.
Okay.
Luka has I think I talked about it last week or the week prior. He had people. I mean, prior to the season start, people said he's a MVP race in the race. Like
I had him as my MVP.
Yeah, preseason. So he gets the All-Star game and he's still having a great season. The Mavs themselves are having a little bit down here versus what was expected from them.
For sure, yeah.
But he's having a great year. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out, he puts out a triple double. Like he's a solid player, like doing whatever. He's a great defense from him too. Good team guy. I wouldn't be surprised to see they give it to a young rising star.
Yeah, I mean, I guess yeah. I had Jokic as like my dark horse candidate, kind of for the same reason. I think Jokic go out there and get a triple double.
Yeah, easily, definitely.
I wouldn't be surprised if like Jokic went for like 24, 12, and 10 or something.
Right. I mean, we saw Westbrook go triple double in the 2-1 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he took MVP from it.
Yep.
Like it could be very easy.
For sure, and those are good points. Like. If someone gets a triple double, you're almost guaranteed to win the MVP.
You're pretty damn close.
Unless you're on the losing team, I would say.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, the losing team, Team Durant, as I'm just already calling it, is just so bad.
Yeah.
They're just like, it's so like, and they're losing one of the biggest stars in Joel Embiid.
Yeah, which is weird because you're talking about all-stars. You're talking about the best players in the league, and you're comparing the two teams like, oh, that team's terrible, and this team's amazing.
Right,
like,
yeah. They're great individuals.
Ridiculous.
They're great players, but like...
It's just like a ridiculous thing to say. Like, this team sucks.
Yeah, like, just comparatively. They can get buckets, but Team LeBron is an actual team.
Yeah.
Like, they're just gonna... I think they're gonna wipe the floor with them. I don't think it's gonna be that close.
Yeah, it's probably not. And if it is, it'll only be close up until the elimination quarter, when you got to shoot first to 24, and then it won't be close.
Yeah, that's probably right. Actually, I mean, it could be right, but I still think that Team LeBron's going to win all 3 quarters also.
I don't think so. I think LeBron's so smart that he'll pull some energy back because if he really wants to go in and just smash through the 24th point quarter,
right?
LeBron does. He's a genius when it comes to rest days and his energy output. He knows when to save it, when to put the foot on the gas.
The one thing that's going to be interesting about this one for sure is that obviously we already had the kind of the pushback from guys like LeBron and Giannis saying they're like, we shouldn't be doing this in the first place. So it'll be interesting to see how much effort's put out there comparative to what there normally is in the All-Star game, which isn't much.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how much guys, especially guys that don't really want to play, like LeBron, like Giannis, if they didn't really want to be there in the first place, how many minutes they even play, overall.
True. Yeah, I mean, they could definitely, or if they do play a majority of minutes, they could be out there, like I said, just lollygagging around, having a fun time with their buddies instead of doing anything. I think the only time you actually see output is the elimination quarter.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which will be fun. I like that. That's change. The fourth quarter being the first one to 24 points. It definitely made it actually all of a sudden the game got really competitive. Teams are like, hold on, because they get a big bonus, by the way. Like you get like $100,000 for being in the All-Star game, but the winning team gets an extra like $250,000 something like per player.
That's crazy.
It's a big bonus for that. So that's why like towards the end they're like, hold on, like we're gonna win.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna play. So okay, yeah. So the team LeBron probably dominates. MVP coming. We'll see if either of us are right when it comes to MVP picks. Yep.
Yes, I got Steph. You got Luka.
Yep. Which is, I mean, the funny thing is you can pick any guy on Team LeBron and you're like, oh yeah, even the reserves, like anybody's deserving. I mean, it just depends on how they
Damian
perform.
Lillard's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
You don't think Damian Lillard come off the bench dropped 40?
Exactly.
Because he could.
He could do whatever the heck. Like any of these guys could do whatever they wanted to get that MVP.
Well, I don't think any of them could like.
Sabonis probably couldn't.
Sabonis, Gobert probably couldn't.
Yeah.
Chris Paul maybe because Chris Paul has the chops to get a triple double in an All-Star game. So maybe, and I'd probably throw. Actually, you know what? The only guy on the reserves I think that would have a legitimate shot would be Damian Lillard. Jaylen Brown, Paul George, I just don't think they're going to be out there to do that.
Yeah, Paul George maybe a couple years ago, but just he's not the same exact player as he was back in the Indiana days.
Yeah.
So
I mean, granted, it's still the regular season. It's not the playoffs, so he won't necessarily melt yet.
that's true.
So
That is
maybe
true.
Paul George comes out and hits a bunch of threes. I don't know.
So,
But yeah, I got Steph for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. So let's go to like the next biggest thing that everybody loves. Well, I don't know. For me, it's the 3-point contest. Some people love the dunk contest more. For me, the 3 points is the next biggest thing for me.
I'm with you because I think the dunk contest has become pretty bad. Like, just not that enjoyable to watch the last few years and for a while. Like, back in the day when things that were happening were really fresh and new, with Michael from the foul line,
Right.
Vince Carter with the arm in the hoop or off the side of the backboard, things like that like people hadn't seen before.
Right.
And now the dunk contest has gotten very gimmicky. Like, let me jump over this person. Let me put a cape on. Let me blow out a cupcake on the top of the rim. Like, those aren't that cool, honestly. It's like, I expect you to be able to do that because you're an NBA player and you're in the dunk contest. I expect you to be able to jump over Spud Webb.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Spud Webb's 5'7". And yes, I know you're jumping over him because, he won a dunk contest. And, it's like a throwback type of deal. But it's not that cool. I expect you to do that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the best dunk contest we've seen in recent years was 2016 one where Zach LaVine versus Eric Gordon when they went to overtime and they had to do a whole other round. I mean, they did some serious dunks. That was some good stuff. But since then, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like when Dwight Howard won it back in 2010.
With a Superman cape on.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like it's not like he jumped from 3 feet away from the basket, but he had a cape on. Oh my God, he went flying. Like that stuff was so bad.
I hate that Zach LaVine's not in the dunk contest. Like he said he wasn't going to be this year. He's in the 3-point contest. But did you see his warm-up dunk earlier this week? He's coming up. He puts the ball through his legs behind himself, and it comes up, and he oops it to himself through his legs. It was crazy. I'm like, why? Why aren't you in the dunk contest? You're clearly he's.
Well, doesn't he have two?
That's creative. I think he's won twice. He's won twice.
And he was in it like 3 straight years because he beat Aaron Gordon, and I think he won the next year after that too.
Yeah, I mean, so like he's a really good dunker. I can understand not being in there. I hope one of these times we get Zion. And we talked about it before.
Eventually, I think.
Well, we thought we'd finally get with LeBron at some point. That never happened, so.
Yeah, I think LeBron's skill set's so much greater than Zion's, though, when he came into the league.
Yeah.
LeBron was like, I got more to do.
Right.
Where Zion's got to develop a lot, so I think he might want some of that stardom.
So let's jump into the dunk contest. So we kind of brought that up first here. So we have the 3 guys competing in the dunk contest are Obi Toppin, rookie in New York, came out of Dayton.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes. I mean, he was considered a big dunker in college, but like I wasn't all that impressed with most of his dunks. He's more of a power dunker. He doesn't really get above the rim,
right.
So I think he's gonna struggle to be able to like really wow the crowd. Yeah, right. The other 2 guys are Anthony Simons from Portland and Cassius Stanley, who's also a rookie. Who I can't remember who team he's playing for right now. But just after those 3 guys, my initial reaction at first thought was going to be Anthony Simons. Mm-hmm. But then I heard this about Cassius Stanley. Cassius Stanley broke Zion Williamson's vertical jump record at Duke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I heard that and said, okay, Cassius Stanley's going to win.
Yeah.
Zion's vertical jump record was 44 inches, and he beat it. 44 inches.
Well, for people to compare, if I'm not mistaken, DK Metcalf, the receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, which if you know football, you know he's an absolute monster. His vertical was 44 or 46 NFL Combine. Jesus. And so, like, that's a comparison between the two there if you want to, kind of get a better visual of it. So, yeah, I mean, I'll go with that too then.
Yeah, the second I heard that, I mean, I've seen Anthony Simons, like, get up and, like, he seems to, like, just kind of float through the air. But when you're jumping 4 feet,
yeah, it's a lot.
It's crazy.
That's crazy, yeah. So, yeah, I'll go, I mean, I think everybody can say the dunk contest this year is, like, just crap. Because if guys that, like, we don't care, like, either the rookies, guys we don't know, we don't see do dunks in regular season games because they're not playing because they're rookies or they're on the bench. Like, So it's not going to matter that much. But if he's got a great vertical, he might pull off something cool.
Yeah, I think being able to jump that high, you're definitely going to be able to be a little more creative.
Right.
So Cassius Stanley is definitely both of our picks then. So moving to the 3-point contest, which is stacked.
It is stacked.
This 3-point contest is crazy. So you have the headliner Steph Curry, then you have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, teammates, fighting each other. Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, and Mike Conley, who's replacing Devin Booker. Obviously, that makes the lineup drop a little bit because Mike Conley's not the 3-point shooter that Devin Booker is.
Yeah.
Devin Booker can go lights out. Devin Booker won last year. And Damian Lillard was supposed to be in it, but he dropped out because he was worried about rest. So, obviously, Steph is the betting favorite. How could he not be? He's Steph freaking Curry.
Yeah. But it's also you can say Steph Curry compared to other guys like Team LeBron versus Team KD this year. The other guys are great shooters, but they're not even close to Steph's level.
Right.
Like Donovan Mitchell's probably the closest one to him, and he's very inconsistent still.
Right.
And it's the same thing goes for even Jason Tatum. He's got a pretty good 3-point stroke, but he's very inconsistent still.
Yeah. I'm not going with Steph to win. I'm actually going to go with Zach LaVine to win this.
Oh, God, you're out of your mind.
Did you see him go for 40 earlier this year and was hit 12 threes on his own?
Yeah, but that's not a consistent thing he does.
Yeah, but I'm expecting him to catch fire.
No, you're playing with fire with that pick. That's what you're doing.
That's okay. That's okay.
Steph Curry's gonna wipe the floor with these guys.
So you think it's that?
Steph Curry's gonna lights out.
All right.
No, I don't think either any of those guys are anywhere close to enough to his level to even challenge him. Devin Booker was gonna be the guy.
Was the money on that?
Sure.
All right. I got Zach LaVine. How much you want to put down?
I don't care.
$50? Let's do 50.
It's a 3-point contest at 20.
20. All right. 20. You taking Steph?
I'm taking Steph. Yeah.
All right. And if the field wins, I guess nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
All right. All right. Perfect.
Saw it here first.
Yes, you did. Yeah, I think Zach LaVine catches fire. So I think it'll be fun. All right, let's move to the skills competition. This is always kind of fun. They do, there's
it's like a little race.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's a bit of dribbling, obstacle course, 3-point shot. There's a layup. There's a chest pass.
Yeah.
And they like to do things with big guys and you have your traditional bigs and your guards in there. And it's kind of fun. So this year, the guys we have Robert Covington, Luka Doncic, Chris Paul, Julius Randle, Domantas Sabonis, and Nikola Vucevic. This one, I would love to see a big guy finally win this, but they're just not as skilled as the guards are in every case. And even if they are, even if they hit all the things on the first thing, like they hit the chest pass on the first try, hit the 3-point shot on the first try, the thing that ends up hurting them is that they're not as fast as the guards.
Yeah.
I mean, and it is a timed thing, So I think it'll be a very long time before we see a big guy do it or win this.
Right.
I think this really comes down to between Chris Paul and Luka, and I got Chris Paul winning just because Chris Paul's that kind of competitor.
Yeah. It's hard, honestly. I kind of want to go with Julius Randle.
Okay.
I'll just throw it out there. I'll just go with him because when I look at it, Chris Paul, I mean, he's got a crazy amount of skill, but he's older and he's got good competition. But I don't think he cares that much to really try. I think he looks at it and says, "Oh yeah, I'll just be out there for fun, give the NBA a good look." I don't think he cares to be there.
Yeah.
And then Luka, he's got crazy skill too. But if you actually watch Luka's a really slow player. But he's like a Paul Pierce type of methodical, slow moving, pick my positioning type of player.
Oh yeah, he definitely plays at but he forces everyone to play at his pace.
Right, but he's playing against a dummy that he's passing the ball to.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not an NBA game.
Yeah, so it's
choose that.
When he's like, oh, I'm against the time, I'm gonna raise. That's not something he's used to. Oh, I make a mistake.
Could be.
And Julius Randle has been lights out. He's been the best he's ever been in his career. He is leading that Knicks team as a power forward right now.
I mean, there's a reason why he's in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. Can he shoot from 3 though? I don't know anything about his.
He can shoot from 3. It's not like he's great by any means, but I mean, he's like any other 4 guard that can spread the floor.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'd probably compare him to like a Chris Bosh from 3. step out to the corner. You know, he can hit it. Not, you know, you can't expect him to drop 10 threes in a game, but he'll probably give you 1 or 2. Easily.
Okay. And the three, they don't get to shoot the 3 from the corner. They have to shoot from straight on.
Well, that's probably the best shot for any guy in the league. Is straight on or the corner. So.
Yeah. So okay.
I'll take a big guy. I'll say Julius Randle pulls it off.
I wanted to pick Sabonis so bad just because, you know, he's a Zag.
Yeah, he's a Zag too.
But I just can't do it. I've picked big guys before in the past and it just burned.
Yeah.
It just burned me bad.
Yeah.
So I can't do it again.
Yeah, Sabonis also doesn't have that type of skill level. Great player, great mentality, great, you know, physical.
He's a brilliant passer, so I think he got the chest pass on lock. The 3-point shot's the one thing that he'll struggle. He doesn't really shoot threes. He can, but he doesn't really do it.
Right. Just his natural athletic ability for cuts and turns and all the small movements aren't there. He's a big dude that plays big.
Yeah, that's true.
So that'd be a hard one to pick. But Julius Randle has got some finesse to him.
Okay. Fair enough. Julius Randle for you. I got Chris Paul. Go with the old guy. All right, so
go with the old guy.
Go with the old guy. All right, the last thing about All-Star Weekend that normally happens, it's not actually being played this year, but they did announce rosters if they were going to play. The Rising Stars Challenge or Rising Stars Game, however you want to announce it. Like I said, the game won't be played. Unfortunate.
Right.
Because this is kind of the best way for the younger guys to be able to kind of showcase themselves a little bit. But with that being said, I'm kind of glad the game's not being played because the USA roster versus the world, is how they split these up, is stacked. Compared to the world roster is just, there's a couple guys out here, I've never heard of them on the world roster.
Well, the majority of the world roster itself, you can list off the whole thing, and there's 3 guys oh yeah, I know who that is. I know what team he plays for. The other guys, even if you heard the name, you probably don't know what team he plays for at this point.
Right. So let me roll through these rosters real quick. So Team USA would be LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Tyler Hero, DeAndre Hunter, Keldon Johnson, John Morant, Michael Porter Jr., Zion Williamson, and James Wiseman. You outside of DeAndre Hunter and Keldon Johnson, every other guy on this list has made a name for himself already.
Yeah.
And then on the world roster, you have Precious Achiuwa, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Denny Adija, R.J. Barrett, Facundo Campazzo, don't know who that is,
Nope.
Brandon Clark, Lou Dort, Rui Hachimura, Theo Maldon, and Michael Mulder, or Mikhail Mulder.
Yeah. See, out of all those guys you just listed off, I know 4 of them.
I know Precious Achiuwa, but I know him more because he went from USC, not what he's doing now. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I know plays for New Orleans, and is putting some decent minutes there. I only know Denny because he was drafted this year, and he was a top 5 draft pick or top 10. Went to the Bulls. R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, Denny Adija.
Yeah.
R.J. Barrett, obviously. Rui Hachimura, we know.
We know Rui Hachimura and Brandon Clark. They went to Gonzaga.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of Zags guys are on the All-Star. That's actually really cool.
Represent.
Hometown team.
I know Lou Dort now just because he had a pretty good playoff run last year for Oklahoma.
That's true.
He actually also just hit a game winner last week. And he's not much of a 3-point shooter, but he drained this 3 and the team mobbed him. It was great. But yeah, Facundo Campazzo, no idea who that is.
I like his name though.
Great name. But no idea who that is. Couldn't tell you what team he plays on. Does he even get minutes? How do he make this team?
Not enough guys stepped up.
I guess. And then Theo Maldon and Mikhail Mulder, don't know who those are either.
Yeah, no, not a clue. Not a single clue.
So I know more than I'm out of the 12 guys, I know 8 of them, but I also know that none of them are great. I know what Rui can do, and he's getting better with out there in Washington.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But he's also his NBA career has been pretty on and off because of injuries. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. Brandon Clark, out of all the guys on here, Brandon Clark's probably the one that has made the most name for himself. Coming in as a rookie last year, he started dropping threes that we didn't really see when he was at Gonzaga. And he's a great pick and roll type guy. So
yeah, I mean he's a good double type of guy.
For sure, yeah,
very good.
But yeah, I mean just the talent level between the two aren't even close.
Yeah,
I mean we talked about Team LeBron being way better than Team Durant. This is worse.
Oh, it's like Team LeBron times 2.
Yeah,
versus KD cut in half. Like,
I mean,
it's bad.
It is. I mean,
wouldn't be close.
I don't know how to say. I mean, Team USA. This is a Team USA roster that could go in and like win games in like the Olympics and like the FIBA competitions. Just these guys.
Oh yeah.
I think like they're young, but they could win games. I'm not saying they would win the gold, but they would probably make it to the gold medal game.
Oh yeah, they won some games, that's for sure.
So it's just I'm like I would like the game to be played just because like I think it's a good showcase for the young guys, but I'm glad I'm not watching a team get slaughtered.
Yeah,
because that's what it'd be.
Oh yeah, it'd be terrible. It'd be absolutely terrible. Like it would not be worth the time.
No, it'd be very boring. I think I'd probably watch it all halftime because at that point they'd be up 100.
I'd be up 100.
It might be 80-2. I don't know.
Oh, God.
It's just that bad. I don't know how else to put this. I mean, yep. I got nothing else to put on that.
Yeah.
I just can't. I could go on forever just saying how bad they would be.
Yeah. Let's not bore people with that. I think they understand already.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, that's everything we have on the All-Star game. This week in sports is little low.
Yeah.
A little slow, which it is what it is. Any other points in the All-Star game you want to bring up that maybe I missed?
Well, I mean, let's just like go over the game real quick. Outside of the talent level, obviously, and then the MVP. Some of these guys. What do you think we're gonna expect from them? Like, what do you hope to see? I guess from these guys.
I hope to see Kevin Durant take a 3 from the sideline. I hope Kyrie throws the ball on the sideline. He just trains one from deep. I don't know. I hope to see a competitive game in the fourth, the way it was last year.
Okay.
That's what I hope to see. I know with COVID and guys not necessarily having the whole heart into this game like they had previously, I know that could end up making this game not very fun to watch. But I hope that once the guys are in the moment, I mean they're competitors. I think when they're there, they're not gonna be able to help themselves but to like dig down in the fourth quarter.
Right.
For that, so I hope we get to see that. I don't want to see this just like laziness run up and down the court for the entire fourth quarter, which I don't think will happen. As I hope it doesn't happen.
Right. Yeah, I don't hope it doesn't happen either. It might be the way the first 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter can't be that way. And I don't think it will be, even if they don't want to be there. I think because of the way they changed the format and it's in honor of Kobe, that changes the whole game.
Okay.
I think the strict thing of the honoring Kobe in that last fourth quarter, the 24-point elimination. Excuse me, God.
Apparently, neither one of us can clear
our throat is clogged. I think just the impact of Kobe being in that fourth quarter elimination game changes it all.
Right.
I think they play hard just in honor of him and the legacy.
Yeah. Well, they better.
That's true.
Don't you dare disrespect Kobe.
Yeah. He might be the logo next year.
Well, Adam Silver said they have no plans on changing the logo.
Which, I mean, I get it.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it's just fine. Like, I get it. There's no need to, but, I want to see a change. I do.
I feel like a lot of people do just for the sake of it. It's like no one else changes their logo.
Maybe they're behind the time. We did say the NBA is one of the most aggressive organizations when it comes to sports.
Progressive, yeah.
Progressive, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could do it. I don't think they will. I mean, there's plenty of other ways to honor Kobe, which they've already doing with the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's gonna be fine. I don't expect the change to happen, but
Yeah.
If they want to, they certainly can.
That's true.
Quick preview into next week's episode, though.
Yeah.
Next Sunday is Selection Sunday for the NCAA tournament. So what we're gonna do, we won't be able to like live stream it, but we are going to film our episode while the select show is happening. So you'll be able to see our, in time, like our direct reactions to these picks and to this bracket. So it'll be pretty interesting with that. As the tournament goes on, we're going to have our own bracket. We'll have it posted up on the wall behind us, and we'll kind of keep things going. That way, we'll build our bracket. It'll be kind of a consensus between the two of us.
Right.
You'll be able to hear us probably argue about it on who we think's gonna win, and we'll keep track of it as we go. It'll be pretty fun to do. So
let's give him a sneak peek into the app too.
Yes. So
hit him with it. Tyler came up with this good idea last night. We have been talking about a couple episodes. We want to do something cool for March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler actually came up with this idea that he gave us last night and kind of got set up.
Yeah, so as many people do, I mean, even people that don't care that much about college basketball still fill out a bracket, right? Everyone does.
You get a chance to win a crazy amount of money and prizes.
So what we did, ESPN has the Tournament Challenge app, which they've been doing for years now. It's by far the most used app for March Madness to fill out your bracket. So if you want to join us, we created a group at Herbie Sports Talk. You can create your bracket and join our group there at Herbie Sports Talk right on the app. And you'll be able to see if you can beat us in the Tournament Challenge. It'll be fun to do. Love to see all you guys join in, try to beat us, and interact with us. It'll be fun to see what your picks may be versus ours.
Yeah.
And I gotta admit, we're pretty good at this. So
we do brackets a long time, very long time.
So I mean, if you're gonna join, you better come guns ready. We're coming.
Yeah. And if a lot of people join in on this, we might be able to do something cool with whoever does. If there's somebody that does beat us, maybe we can come up with something cool to do with that person, or something like that along.
Yeah.
You never know. It depends on if we get a bunch of people that join and do this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it'd be great. It'd be cool to whoever does in our group, if we can find something to do with that person, or if we can get their contact information. I'm not sure how that works through the app.
Me either.
But if you win, we'll shout you out, and maybe you can comment on the YouTube.
I would say if you're joining that means you've been watching, so you can contact us somehow.
Yeah. Through the social media on YouTube, comment, and we'll find a way of connecting with you on that. So it'd be pretty cool to do. So, I think that's everything we have for today, though.
Yeah. Not much else going on. We'll come back next weekend with March Madness. Get ready to roll.
Yeah. Love March Madness.
Yeah,
who doesn't? So all right, guys. Again, please hit us up at Herbie Sports Talk on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Hit us up on the comments on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify and iTunes.
Yep.
You can find us in many ways. I mean, whatever your preferred method is, we're there.
We're pretty much there. Yeah.
So awesome, guys. Thank you for listening in. We'll talk to you next week.
See you next weekend.